Well, hello, my YouTube friends. So, as you know, I have over 3,000 prime cases ready to be loaded, and finally reached the fun part where you actually start assembling loaded ammunition. So, let's take a look at what options I have for bullets. But first, let's look at some of my inventory of my old stock because they're just so beautiful. Okay, so this is a box of Sierra Game King, not Match King, 30 caliber, and they're still available. I just checked Midway USA, $25 for a box for this exact same thing, a box of 100, 165 grain. So let me zoom in, and I hope I got the lighting just right because they are beautiful. I mean, that color that comes with time, they're beautiful when they're brand new, but this toning, I mean, wow. And as many of you know, the camera doesn't do it justice, but these, and they're like all the way, just dig around in the bottom, get one out. Yep, beautiful, nice toning on it, just gorgeous. So these are years old, you can tell by the box. I got a couple of those, but this is the only one that's open. Okay, let's look at this right here, this box of Nosler partition, and you can see the diagram how they're built so that when they hit soft tissue, the front end mushrooms out, but the back end stays solid to maintain weight and drive through deep, to punch through bone and reach the vital organs for a humane harvesting of wild game. Now, if you were going to buy these loaded, and these are 7mm, so I think they're 284s. I couldn't find just the bullet, but I did see some loaded ammo, and they were in the 7mm. They were like $100 for a box of 20. And these, not as beautiful as those Sierras, but some nice, interesting color. Look at how the crimping groove has toned at a different rate than the rest of it. I didn't count them. I presume they're all there. It's nice when you have vintage ammo. It's nice when you have vintage boxes, but vintage ammo to go with it is double your fun. Okay, so this right here is a box of 30 caliber, 200 grain, and to buy these already loaded, I think it was $68 a box. And this box has never been opened. This wrapping right here is still intact, although this one, that side's ripped right there, but this one's still intact. That's never been opened. But we will be able to take a look at some of those. Okay, so we'll look at this little box thing container right here. All right, and okay, so these are beautiful too, and these are much newer. These are solid copper Barnes Triple Shock X, Barnes Tipped Triple Shock X, and these also just beautiful. They look really good with that blue tip. See, they have an X on the bottom, a bunch of driving bands because they're solid copper, boat tail, which means that, see how it angles right there? The diameter gets a little bit smaller at the base. So that's called a boat tail. That helps your aerodynamics. We'll take their word for it. So these are quite beautiful also. Haven't loaded any of these. These are 30 caliber, 180 grain. Okay, so some of these old stock. Okay, 50 grain, soft point SX. I'm not even sure what, but it has the M right here. because my friend that I got these from, well, at his estate sale. So M is like Molly, and I remember years ago reading Guns and Ammo and those books. There was a whole craze of Molly, and I don't know, molybdenum or Molly coated bullets. And I don't know if it's supposed to increase barrel life or what it's supposed to do, but I don't have 20 of these. I just have like a small box, small amount of those. So I won't load these because I want to be able to at least load a box of 20, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's zoom back out. And we have, so this little baggie, I'll have to measure the diameter of these, and I'll have to weigh each one and measure them. Even though I'm sure they're the same, I'll have to measure each one so I know exactly what I'm dealing with. So that's, I don't know if that's 50 or 40. Hopefully it's at least 40. I can load, in batches of 20. Okay, now here's another old stock, old school box. It's been opened. This is 2263 grain, semi-pointed. And does it have the M on it? Let's see. Nope. But they are oldies but goodies. They are old stock. I don't really like to use the soft points in my ARs because it the action will deform the lead tip a little bit. Not that it matters because I'm just shooting 8-inch frying pans at 100 yards. Okay, so these are Match King. Okay, these have the M. 52 grain. You're starting to get too light. And all my guns are at least a 1 in 7 or 1 in 9 twist rate. These will probably be okay. But they, my friend, he Molly coated them himself. So there's 100. 52 grainers. I don't really like to go that light with the ARs. Okay, now here's the Noslers, all right, matching this other one. Let's see how the color is. Yeah, the color's not as dark. It's like they haven't toned, but there is, and I don't know who cut this one. I don't know if back in the day, Nosler cut one of their own bullets. Yeah, I would say no, because that's an uneven cut. Although it's possible. Maybe I cut it and just don't remember. But that's their construction. So it's good to have like vintage boxes in your collection, but to also have, the vintage ammo in the boxes. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so these are going to be, and they have that M, that Molly, more 52 grainers. Did we just look at these? Okay, 2 more old school boxes. And I wish the price was still visible. Old West Arms, they used to be over on Abbey, just north of the Harley-Davidson dealership, just north of Matthews. So these are 55 grain Spitzer. We'll see how they look. They look beautiful. So 55 grain is a good weight. I've loaded 55 grain soft points for the ARs previously. And like I said, the lead deforms, but at the range I'm shooting and the targets I'm shooting at, it's really a non-factor. Okay, here's some 30 caliber 125 grain Spitzer. And that's really light. and it's got tape on it, so we're not going to open them. But a 125 grain Spitzer through my M1A, it's not really, you know, it's a no-go. Okay, let's check this drawer. And here's another bag. I hate to open it and use them because it's almost like some survivalist, or maybe they were just packaged for resale. But more soft point, more 224, most likely caliber soft points. Okay. Here's an old little tray of primers, old Remington 9.5 primers. All right, and the vintage boxes are cool, man. But unfortunately, it doesn't have the full 100. It only has 30, I guess. Interesting artifact. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, some Hornady, 60 grain spire points. It's all taped up, so I won't cut the tape. Now here come the Eagles. .69 grain. I used to load a lot of 68 and 69 grainers when I first got my Sporter. See the Molly coat. And these are 9mm. And I'm not going to cut the tape. 355, 116 grain soft point for your 9mm. These would have been loaded in one of those Smith, those early 9mm Smiths. What were they called? I forget. Okay, so now let's get down to my 3,000. How am I going to load 3,000 cases? I showed you these already one time. This has 250 or 200 some. This has 500. Okay, you guys have seen those. Just your plinking, Full Metal Jacket, plinking ammo. Whoop. I probably won't load any of these. Solid copper GMX. I don't know really. I mean, they're for hunting where only lead-free ammo is allowed to not poison the environment and try to drive hunters out of business. So there's 700 of those. All right, now let's take a look at these, because these just came in recently from Midway USA. So here's 250 Nosler ballistic tips, 55 grain, and they should have a plastic point. And you look how the base has a heavier copper bottom. And I shot some of those. You may remember those 130 grain sauced that I shot through the 308, and they really were impacting on that steel plate. Let's take a look at these, because here's 250 of them. Whoop. This knife hasn't seen a whetstone in a while. Okay, let me zoom out. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Orange tip. And they are kind of long for a 55 grainer. And I believe it's because of the copper base. Copper is less dense than lead. So in order to weigh the same, they have to put more of it. So I'll definitely load up all 250 of these. So that right there puts me at, so if that's 250, this partial box right here is 250 or however much, so we'll just call that 500. And then here's another 500, so there's 1,000. Okay, plus all those other little individual boxes. Now let's look at this one and we'll be done. This video's lasting a while, but those vintage bullets are so beautiful. Okay, this is supposed to be 1,500 55 grain plinkers in a little, and this is brand new. I'm going to cut the zip tie right there. With my trusty diagonal cutters. Everyone knows what the nickname is for diagonal cutters. Ta-da! Oh yeah. So 1,500 right here. Another 1,000 right here. All right, we'll just round that up, call that 1,000. So that's 2,500. And then you saw I have plenty, like I can load these up. So I definitely have enough bullets to get to 3,000. All I need is the gunpowder, and I have some on hand, but that will be for another video because this video is getting really long. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. You don't often see vintage ammo such as the ones I displayed today. And you folks have a good day.